Friends, hello, I am glad you are here. There is so much going on right now, and let's chit chat about what is happening. So obviously, I think the two biggest stocks right now that I think most people are probably looking at when it comes to this month right now that could be really big for these two stocks is obviously Digital World Acquisition and Rumble, and they are both having different things happening right now. So just covering Rumble first, obviously what's happening here. Key points today, obviously, if you're unless you're living underneath a rock, the House passed the bill today for TikTok to be banned, essentially. Obviously what they're wanting here, it's not even so much banning TikTok. They're wanting the servers. They don't trust the servers and all this. And, I got to be honest here. This is a whole different conversation of what is going on, what they're trying to do at TikTok. Obviously I don't agree with it. And, like I said, I had to be careful with what I'm saying here because, I don't, to me, this is more of like our government saying, we want a piece of the pie with TikTok and we want to take it over. And two, we want to hide things from people. So this is one reason Rumble is doing well this year, apart from this news, because Rumble is free speech and Rumble allows a lot more things where people can put videos on there, somewhat like TikTok, but even more than TikTok, honestly, because it's a free speech platform. Now, obviously, with TikTok and Rumble, what's going on here with these two things is that just a day ago, the CEO of Rumble came out saying, hey, we would be more than happy to make a partnerships, a deal, something where we can do the data part of TikTok, with servers and all that. And obviously TikTok wouldn't become Rumble, Rumble wouldn't become TikTok, nothing like that. But obviously if that deal were to happen, we would be talking about a massive amount of money for Rumble to be, they'd be taking from TikTok. But, I'll say this too, and this is kind of where I got to be careful what I say. And I will be posting this video on Rumble too. I have an account on there. But, I don't know that the deal will happen with Rumble and TikTok. And I say that for one reason, is that I think Uncle Sam will probably get the upper hand here. I think that obviously Congress agreed on this like lickety split. I mean, it was 80% vote. It was a very small margin of who didn't agree with it. And, I know a lot of those people in Congress. Guess where they have stock at? Guess where they have friends? Guess where they have money? Guess where they have control? They have it in Alphabet. They have it in Meta. And of course, I'm talking about the Alphabet stock. That's all I'm going to say right there. Just kind of keywords. If you know, you know. So, I want this to work. I want this to work with Rumble and TikTok. God knows I do, because, I'm a firm believer in Rumble regardless. I think Rumble's going to do great. But this would be a huge payday for Rumble if this were to happen, if TikTok and Rumble were to work together. But I just don't see it happening. That's the problem. It could happen. It could be. I could be completely wrong, because TikTok has already voiced its opinion about how they've tried to make things right, but how they're just not happy with how they're being treated. So they could go the opposite way and talk to Rumble and say like, hey, this is what we want to do. Since the bigger hands are at play here, they're going to try to stay in control, and they're probably going to tell TikTok where they can go. So that's why I am kind of doubtful, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say there. Like, it's not that I don't trust Rumble or think Rumble can do it. Obviously, Rumble is very capable of this, but, Rumble, like I said, the first problem is, I don't know that they're going to be allowed in the deal. They may be pushed out because they are free speech. And this is strictly political stuff going on right now. If you don't think so, think again. This is 100% political stuff. Second of all, and the big thing that people may not be aware of is that TikTok has a lot more money than Rumble, and they have a lot more people on it. TikTok is a huge business. It's a very new platform, but, it is. And the thing, too, is, I have to be careful what I say here, because if I was just putting this video on Rumble, I'd say a lot more. But, this is a huge issue because there's a lot of people on TikTok that make their living off there. They run their companies, whether it actually be a physical company where they sell product, or it be just them making videos where they, they have monetized videos. So, and I get it, this is going to be a huge issue for our economy too, because TikTok brings in a lot of money that supports a lot of businesses, like I just said. So it tentacles into a lot of things. So this is more or less a threat from our government that they're going to force, because they want that money, and they want that they want the censorship. They want the censorship, and obviously, what year is it right now? It's an election year. And what do I sound like right now? I sound like a conspiracy theory person, and I'm not trying to be. But, I mean, I think the writing is on the wall right now with what's going on. So, let's just stick to stocks here, but it goes into more than just talking about stocks. This is it's a big thing, but there's two main reasons, and I just told you why. So, will Rumble pull this off? I don't know, friends. I want them to. I want it to work. What scares me is that Uncle Sam usually wins in the end. And, we're probably going to have a nice pump here. We're going to have a nice drive with Rumble. We have quarterlies here on the 27th of this month. And we're expecting good quarterlies. We are expecting good quarterlies. And Rumble's doing great. I mean, Rumble, apart from all this, Rumble's doing great. It's got, a lot of people involved with it. It is killing in partnerships, their database, their cloud, everything they're pushing. There's just a lot going on, and their subscriber count, it's growing. So, I don't think Rumble's going to make you a millionaire this year. It's not what I'm saying, but Rumble, if you can hold on to it and go through the growing pains with it, Rumble is a very good long-term investment here with what they should be pulling off here in the next, 3 to 5 years, as long as they keep doing what they're doing. And if Trump were to win again, I think they would do phenomenal. If Trump were to lose here, win or lose again, I think Rumble would still do great because they are a free speech platform. So I really like where they're going here either way, but this deal, I don't know. I just don't know. So I hope everybody understands what I'm trying to say right there. So let's talk about Digital World acquisition and what is going on there. DWC here is holding $40 for a stock price, which is phenomenal because obviously, every analyst has been saying it's not going to, and the majority of them, obviously, they're not rooting for it. So we're gonna have the merger here, pretty soon. It's coming up, and I expect next week to probably see some big volume with this. I think it's gonna start to get pumped here. Now, everyone wants a number what they think it's gonna be. I don't know. But here's where I will give some, double-edged sword advice, where people can do what they want with it, and I have to make my own decisions, just like anybody else has to make their own decision. If you're wanting to get out of this, you need to make an escape route and not get too greedy. If you're like, I'm just going to leave it sit, I'm going to see what happens, and I want to, let this thing run, and just if it falls to $20 after the merger, it falls to 20. I do think more than likely this thing will follow suit as what we usually see with stocks that merge. There will be a run on it. Now, what this run will be, I don't know if this is going to be a 10%, 20%, 30%, or 100% run. I don't know. It could go to $80, it could go to $100, it could go just to a $55 mark. It could fall flat. Who knows? But I doubt that. I'm expecting this thing to get a little ridiculous here. But I do think there will be an initiative. There will be an initiative push on it because the fact that this deal may finally happen here is a big deal because it's been pushed back so many times. And once it's done, it's done. It's done. It's on there. True Social will be on the NASDAQ. You can trade it. So that's going to be huge. Now, like anything else, the news will die down, the dust will settle, and people will get bored and they'll sell out of it. And I expect to see a massive sell in the stock, probably somewhere in April. I don't expect it to keep going. There's no reason for it to, because news will settle. But I do think there will be another big bull run on this stock. I do believe that. And this is just what I'm projecting. I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is just how I'm thinking this is going to go here. The question is, where is the new level going to be on the stock when the merger does happen? Obviously it's been holding this $40 range really well. So that is a little suspicious to believe that this could be a pretty expensive stock once the merger is done. It could play around this $30 to $40 range here, and on a bad day, it may be in the high 20. But there is another scenario. There is a scenario where the stock could just be used as a bait. It could just be used and tossed around as a high volume trading stock every day, somewhat of a little bit of a meme stock, AMC, GameStop situation. Not like that, obviously, a completely different situation, but, just to where, like, anything Trump does news-wise, this will be pushed high up. I can definitely see that. The main thing I have to say here, this is what everyone needs to realize, we've never seen anything like this. We don't have anything to judge this stock off of right now other than a merger with a company. We've never seen a company, a stock that is on, where you can trade it on the NASDAQ, on the stock market, where you can trade it, that is owned by the former president and potentially the new president here in just months away. So just really think about where you want to be on the stock. Do you have an exit plan and a buyback in plan? It's really going to be interesting what is going to happen here with this. And as far as we know, it's happening. The deal is going through. This is a real thing. And it's a very well-timed situation because we see all this TikTok Rumble stuff going on, and Trump has come out and said like he wants TikTok, he doesn't want to get rid of it. Trump is a supporter of Rumble and Truth Social run together. They are very much, a friendship, but not a partnership, but a friendship there. If you're on Rumble, then you understand what I'm saying here. So it's going to be interesting to have this other platform out there. And obviously, here's the two big things I get comments about more than anything. People just, dogging me out about it. I am not naive to think that Trump may sell shares once this comes, once this deal is done. I get that. He might. So what? I don't care. That's why I'm saying you need to really think about an exit point, or, selling half your shares or wherever you want to be, or just doubling down. Whatever you do, I don't care. I'm just relaying what I see and I think, and I'm not an expert on this, and I don't have a magic ball. And like the most important thing I said is, we've never seen this before. So this is going to be a learning situation for everyone. We'll probably never see this again in our lifetime. I mean, Obama's not making a company that's going to be on the NASDAQ here. And Biden is surely not making a company, so I'm not even going to go there. So with that, yes, he could sell shares, but we've seen CEOs sell shares. It's not that big of a deal. And yes, I know the company is new. They're not making a ton of money, all that. I've already preached about that in other videos. I know this. I know it. That's why I told people in the last video I made where I said, like, hey, don't be... There's certain kind of investors in this that are going to stay in here because they just want to be a part of Truth Social. That's great, man. That's your God-given right. You can do it. If you want to keep doubling down on it, that whatever you want to do. What do I care? And then there's going to be people that realize, hey, there's going to be a big push here. I'm probably going to sell out and come back to the party later on when we see where the dust settles. That's a very real thing most investors are going to do. And then there's just the other investor who is maybe going to miss a selling point and, in which they would have sold. I don't know. But I think there is a big majority here that people are just going to keep doubling their way in. And they could be bag holding for a moment here. But like I said, I do think there will be another bull run. I think there's going to be a bunch of little runs on this stock here until we get to October, November. But I think October, November is probably where we'll see a really big spike, bigger than we'll see here in 2 weeks, because obviously it's going to be Biden and Trump at this point running. So Trump being the spokesman of True Social, I imagine the stock would go freaking bananas. I mean, look at what use this somewhat ever as a reference, and I'm going to get heat for this one. look at Tesla and Elon. You know, when Elon says something positive and good about Tesla, the stock moves. When he does something bad, the stock goes down. But it's kind of like vice versa. It's kind of like opposite on Trump. You know, if Trump says something bad, we're seeing digital world still staying strong. So maybe that's not the best thing to say. Friends, I'm excited. Digital world is doing exactly what we thought it was going to do, but even better, the fact that it's holding this 40, I think is very positive. And Rumble, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm rooting. Obviously, I'm holding massive shares in Rumble. I want this to happen for Rumble. I want them to get this TikTok somewhat deal. And you know, is that going to happen? I don't know. There's a lot of competitors out there, and there's a lot of competitors out there that have a lot more money than Rumble, have a lot more, you know, puppeteers hanging over them, and be careful. So I just don't know. This is a political thing. This is 100% political, and you have to see that. Uncle Sam wants his cut, and Uncle Sam doesn't want you seeing things, and Uncle Sam usually wins. So I would not be surprised to see, like, they're going to work out some kind of deal with Meta. They're going to work out some kind of deal with Google. I would not be shocked to see that, or just some kind of other startup company that we don't know about that, you know, maybe Nancy Pelosi owns, you know, 50 million shares of. Who knows? I'm going to shut up now before I get in trouble. So, friends, I wish you all the best of luck. I really do mean that. And what is it? It's Wednesday. We still got 2 days left in the market. So, like I said, next week's when I'm really expecting things to start moving here on Digital World Acquisition. This news here with this week in Rumble, Rumble probably will break $10. As long as this news is just kind of out in the ether, I think people are just going to, you know, not want to miss the FOMO here with Rumble. And that's totally understandable. I think it's very dangerous to sell out of Rumble right now, because if they do come to some sort of agreement with TikTok, then it will shoot Rumble stock up to crazy numbers, probably, just based off of hype, based off financial reasons that will be coming the rest of the year. I mean, if they worked out some kind of deal with TikTok, it would pretty much secure the next whole year with quarterlies with Rumble, because it would be some kind of massive deal. I mean, we're talking millions, billions of dollars here, and I mean, obviously just guessing here, but it would be a very big contract for them to house and storage data, all that, and siphon how all that goes through. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Friends, take care. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.